Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Welcome back to Alto Bitesize. Hello, Matt, as well.
Morning.
So following our March session where we explored the renters' rights updates in Alto, today is all about putting all of that into practice. And we are going to just dive straight in because we've got loads and loads to go through with you. And there's loads of you joining us as well, so we don't want to waste anyone's time. So by the end of this session, you'll be confidently able to work through a step-by-step checklist in Alto to make sure your agency is fully prepared ahead of the changes coming into force. And I'll just introduce myself as well. My name's Emma and I'm a senior education specialist here at Alto. And I'm joined by Madeline, who's our senior software trainer here at Alto as well. But hopefully most of you will have joined us in previous bite sizes and know us already. Maybe you're all on the last webinar we did a few weeks ago as well. And also later on, we also have John Perry, who's our senior product manager. He's backstage answering some of your questions as we go through, but he'll actually be joining us live for Q&A too. So keep an eye out for him in the chat. Today we are covering a quick recap of our March webinar. So we're just going to do a little touch base on what we covered last time. We'll dive straight into the live demo, covering all of the steps you need to be taking to ensure you're ready for the upcoming changes. Then we'll take a look at the essential information for tenants requirement. We'll then open up Q&A time with John as well. And then we'll finish with our quarterly prize draw and also your next chance to enter our competition for a prize worth £264. So it's a big prize. If you can stay till the end, that will be great. Also, just want to point out that on the side, you'll see there's a little chat box. Some of you have been saying hello this morning. Please do use that. Drop a hello. Let us know where you're from. Let us know if this is your first bite size. We love to hear from you. We've also got the docs tab as well. Just really want to highlight that one because we've added some resources in there. You've got your renters' rights toolkit, and also you've got the link to join our next webinar as well in there. So make sure you open that up, favorite it, bookmark it, just so that you don't lose that while you're on the webinar as well. So let's kick off with a quick recap of what we covered in March, just to refresh all of our memory. We looked at the shift to periodic tenancies, the removal of fixed term workflows and renewals, and the increased importance of getting your data right from the start. We also touched on the need for stronger audit trails as well, and how Alto has been updated to support all of these changes. And I'm going to hand over to Mads to jump into the demo, and she's going to start that demo with covering the pointers from the last webinar. So I will stop sharing and over to you, Mads.
Thank you very much. Morning, everybody. So lovely to see so many people joining us today. So I'm going to start with just a little bit of a recap. If you were on the last session, you would have already seen this, but if you're new to this session today, it's just a recap of the things that I showed on the last session. And then what I'm going to do after that is I'm going to go through some other bits which will be available for you from around the 15th of April as well on your databases. So to kick that off, the first thing that I sort of went through last month, well, yeah, it was last month, wasn't it? It was March. So the thing that I went through last month was the changes in the property records. So within a property record now, so you're going to have some different setup in there. So when you're setting up your property, when you're adding a new one on, if you know how to do that, obviously that's where you go to. You're going to have the option here now of a tenancy type, and there's only going to be two options to choose from. You've got assured periodic tenancy, or you've got other. So other is going to cover things like your commercial properties, your student lets, anything that is not within the renter's rights. But generally, most of it is going to be the assured periodic tenancy. Under your marketing side of it, you're going to have different things within here as well. So you've got here, for example, acceptable, so the children's and pets. And as you can see on the right hand side of here, you can see the legal requirements in here anyway. So we've kind of put some notes in there as well that you've got access to and you'll be able to see. So what you're able to do is to say, for example, if my particular landlord did not accept pets, if I unticked that, it would prompt me to give a reason why they don't accept the pets. You'd have to put that reason in. It's not going to allow you to go any further until you actually put that reason in. Okay, so I'm just going to select it. It does it anyway. Also, when you're setting a property up as well, under the appraisal stage, which I've already moved on from the appraisal stage, but under the rental side of it, it's only going to give you the option to have monthly or weekly rent as well. So you can't go over for the assured periodic tenancies, obviously. You can't go over that requirement unless you've got it set to a commercial, where you can have your different settings on there as well. The next side of it within a property record, I think that's everything on the property side, to be honest with you, is because you've got your marketing, you've got your property set up as well. Actually, just to show in here, we have got the rental frequency in here. So you can see it's weekly, monthly, daily, fortnightly, and that all accumulates to a month in total as well, just set to a different way. Also within a property record, when you go to set a tenancy up, so if I went to actions and I went to let agreed and I put in a tenant's information in here, for example, let me just put Penny in, you can see if I try to put in more than the agreed amount that's been advertised and try to set up the tenancy, it's going to prevent me from doing it. So we can't go any further. So that's how that has been set as well. Also, you've got the proposed start date, and also the term length has been removed from there, and the end date has been removed as well. So you don't have any access to that when you're setting up a assured periodic tenancy. So that's the property side of it. Going back into the tenancy side of it now as well. So we can see here, I've got one that's already preset, a periodic tenancy. So when we go in here, you'll still be able to see all that information about the periodic as well. But the main sort of changes that you're going to see is in here at the bottom. So we can see rent review, periodic term, and vacate property. This is going to probably slightly change even more because there is another update coming in about the vacations as well. Also, if you're using the new lettings progression as well, that will update on the lettings progression side of it as well. So going through that side of it, that didn't take too long. I'm now going to jump into the side of it, which is some more updates, which we're going to be spending a bit of time in the system administration to show you this side of it today. So what you're going to be needing to do, so this is kind of me going into like a bit of a checklist, just sort of giving you a bit of guidance as well on stuff that you're going to need to do before the 1st of May. In your settings, in your templates and admin, okay, your first thing that you're going to want to be looking at is reviewing and updating your documents as well. Really good opportunity for me to turn around and say as well in regards to your documents is the lettings centre as well. So that's your forms and agreements. If you don't have that set in your database, you can obviously get that as well. It does come at an extra cost, but it's really beneficial to have the letting center within your database as well, because everything that gets updated and changed within legislation is automatically done for you. So there's no need for you to be going in, copying and pasting and changing merge codes and everything like that. So we'll see in here, you've got all of your letters and documents. So it's on you to be going in, to be checking these, to ensure that they're all within legislation, you're all compliant with it as well. Like I just mentioned as well, if you've also got the letting centre pack, everything that is needed and required will be updated for you. So you'll have some new documents that do go into here as well, but it is a case of you going in and setting those and making sure that you've got everything you need, so including like your section 8 for example as well, reviewing your terms of business for your landlords, also reviewing your tenancy agreements as well. So it's a case of coming in here, updating them. But like I said, if you've got the letting centre pack, you will have access. These will be updated for you. And we're looking at hopefully around the 20th, the week commencing the 20th of April, that will be done. Okay, can't give you an exact date, but just an roundabout date on that as well. The next thing that you are also able to do now is you're also able to assign these letters to events as well. So I'm just going to find the one that I want to use in here just to show you what we've got. So if I go into this one as an example, hopefully you can all still see that. Can we all see that letter just to make sure?
Yeah, all good.
Yeah. Perfect. What you're also going to have in here, you've got your associated events. So under your associated events, when you click in here, you'll see you have some new events that you can associate it to. So you've got a vacate cancelled, mutual surrender, you've got the possession, you've got the tenant notice to quit. You've got your vacate, mutual surrender, vacate, tenancy possession, tenant notice to quit. So you can see where they're all sort of set here. So you've got vacated tenancy, you've got different options that you are able to use. So it's really good now where you're able to associate that, because there will be another update coming as well where you can upload some documents within records as well. The next thing on here as well is you also would need to check your progression milestones as well. But just to kind of highlight, going back on here, your property records, they're going to be updated. How you're setting up your tenancies and setting up your properties, your tenancy records are going to be available for you to be able to set them correctly. You just going in and checking on your documents as well, just to ensure that they're all compliant and ready for the 1st of May. So like I said, your tenancy agreements, your terms of business, Section 8 and Section 13, and then also the ability to be able to assign these particular letters to events as well within the tenancy setup. The next step is staying within here, within your system administration side of it. What you are going to be going into is back into your system administration and into your group settings. Under your group settings, you will find some new parts in here. So you've got a tenancy vacate progression, you've got your APT rent review, APT vacate progression. So you've still got your original ones, you've still got your lettings progression, your tenancy renewal, and your tenancy vacate for those. So you've still got them for your commercials, for example, or your student lets, whatever's not included within the changes that are coming on the 1st of May. From here, you do now also have your assured periodic tenancy rent review progression. You've got the vacate progression, you've got the possesses property progression, and these are the ones that you would need to go in and check. So when you click into here, standard is with what you would have with the other ones as well, is that we've set up these milestones for you. But you can still have the ability to go in and check them, make sure that they're all in line with what you're doing. But also you will have the ability to come in here and you can also add new codes in that are relevant for you as well. So going into each one of these, so we can see, for example, on the rent review, we can see these are the milestones that we've set, and these will show when you're going through the rent review, which I will touch in a minute. These will show on that progression list already. Also checking on here, so we've got the rent review, we've got the vacate progression. So this will show you the different milestones for your new vacate, for your assured periodic tenancies as well. So we will have that. And again, you can add additional ones in there, and you can also change the order, exactly what you do already with the ones that you already have existing. And just finally, to touch on the other one as well, the final one is your possesses property progression. Okay, so you can see here, there's quite a few more in this one, but it's everything that is required and everything that you need to go through that process of the possession vacate as well. And again, still got the option to add your new one. The other thing that you also have as well, you may have noticed on your dashboards, on your property management dashboard at the moment, you have a APT rent review as well. So we've got this in here, and as you normally have with any other things that you're doing on your event dates as well within property management, you have it set where you can have it set to remind you and diarise in advance. Said that word right, diarise in advance. And again, you can come back into your templates and admin. Okay, and you can go back into your management of diary events, and it is automatically been set. If I can just find where it is, it has been set here. You can see it here, the rent review, and it's been set as number 20 on here, but it's one that is grayed out, so it can't be unticked and it can't be removed. It's set to automatically create the new date 12 months after you've completed the original one, but it's also been given a 90-day reminder. what you have the ability to do is that you can come in and change that length of time that you want for that reminder to come through. So if you want 30 days or you want 60, 90, 120, whatever works for you, whatever fits for your agency, you can come in and you can amend that as well. So that's the ability to do that in there. So generally, a lot of it in the checklist is in relation to your system and admin side of it. So going in, making those changes, and just to recap on that, is reviewing your documents and updating them, assigning them to events as well, which you have the ability to do, your progression milestones, especially your new ones, going through, checking them, adding any new ones, additional ones that you need within that particular progression, and then also setting up your APT rent review and diarising, setting that diarising in advance, a number of days that you need for your agency as well. So that's kind of what's the next steps, what is coming through, and what is you're going to have the ability to do from the 15th, from next week as well. But the main
how you got to that screen, because I think some people might have just missed how you actually got to here.
Yeah, of course. So I went up into the toggle in here on this side, into templates and admin. And then you go into your system administration, but also just to highlight, the letters and stationery is in here. So just a recap, back here, templates and admin, where the toggle is, and then you'll go into your letters and stationery templates, and then you've got your system administration under your group settings, and then you've got it in here where you can go through. So you've got your APT rent review, your vacate progression, possesses property progression, and then your management of your diary events. So that's the key areas that you're looking for. Okay.
Thank you.
That's no problem. I'm just going to what I'll do is I'll just pass back as well, because obviously I know, Emma, you're going to talk a little bit about what the information sheet is, aren't you, and the relevance of that.
Yeah. So it's a really important area to be aware of, the essential information for tenants. This is now a key requirement under the renters' rights, and it's all about making sure tenants are fully informed about their tenancy from the outset. And from an agency perspective, it's not just about sending the document, it's about doing it consistently and also being able to evidence that it's been provided as well. So this is where Alto actually really helps with it, with a tool we've created for you, so you can manage and track this information directly within the system. And Mads is going to show us exactly how that's done.
Okay, so really good news. Obviously, we've had a lot of communication. We've had a lot of people, a lot of agencies, a lot of you worrying about how you're going to get this information sheet out as well. So, but also the worry of, how am I going to get all my tenancies converted? How am I going to update all of my properties? You know, for example, you've got people saying, I've got 500 properties, I've got 500 managed tenancies. How am I going to do all this? It's a lot of admin work for me to do. So we've really thought about this. We've really put this together. I did highlight it and I did show it on the last webinar that we had in March, but it was set as a separate link for me to go through. The good news is, I'm just going to stay in here, I don't need to go anywhere else, is up here where I just went with that the tools setting. You will be able to see, not quite yet, but I hope from next week, you'll be able to see this RRA converter tool. So this is your renters' right converter tool. And what it's going to do, it's going to automatically open this up for you, this converter tool. I'm just going to make that slightly smaller so we can see it. There we go. So what you've got here is your converter tool, and included on this is your properties, your tenancies, and of course the most important thing is the information sheet. Information sheet I'll come to in a minute, but the first thing that you're going to be able to do from this converter tool is you can convert your properties. Okay, so this would include your properties that you might have set up on the database, that may be properties that are vacating, properties that are empty as well, and then being able to have the ability to move them all over to the new legislation for May. And it is a simple, I can see your name on here, Emma, as well. It is a simple going through. I mean, the first thing you need to do is obviously check those properties, take, groups of you, check your properties to make sure they are the ones that are going to be within this legislation as well. And then you can simply select the ones that you need. You can link into the properties here as well. So if you click on here, it will take you into the property record and also the landlord's record as well. And it also shows you the property manager. Just to highlight as well, you've also got filters on here as well. So particular, say, property manager. So if I just select as Emma's are at the top as well, if we just find Emma on here, there she is. And then you can do multiple property managers. You can do it by the branch as well. So you can filter it by the branch, the management, so what type of management the property is, the property rental status. So you're able to do it by this as well. And then also how many results per page. Once you selected the ones that you want to convert, you would simply select convert selected. It's then going to give you a prompt up here just to say, are you sure you want to convert these? It's going to automatically change the tenancy type to an APT, so an assured periodic property. It's going to update the marketing information for you on the property. So what I showed you before with the marketing information in regards to the pets, the children, everything that is going to be changing from the 1st of May. You've also got the property record option, so you can uncheck if you want to retain your existing settings, and the conversion tool will not make any changes for your pets and children on that property record as well. And then it will be a simple case of just selecting convert the properties. That's it. What will happen is they'll go into the queued, okay, but these, if they're ones that are queuing, they will be there ready to queue, okay. And then also it's going to show you the ones that have failed as well. So it's a case of if it's failed, you can go in, you can check the property record. There might be something on it that is stopping it from going through as well. But you've also got a handy little bit of information there on how to use the tool. So we've really set this up for you. So you don't need to worry too much. There is the information on how to use that tool. Once you've done your properties, but you can also see here, you've got the completed and marked as ignored. So we can see actually the ones that I've just done for Emma are actually completed. So good success on that side of it. So on this information tool, what you've got here is it's called the conversion tool. So it's the RRA conversion tool. We've got the properties, and you've got tenancies, and you've got the information sheet. So the information sheet is the essential information sheet that needs to go out to all of your tenants. With the properties, on here, you've got this tool to be able to convert your properties in bulk as well. So it means that all of your properties that don't have active or periodic tenancies in them as well, and they're possibly vacating, then you can convert these all over in one go. So what you're able to do is, first of all, I'll go back to the filter side of it. You've got the filters, so you can filter it down by property managers. You can do it by branch. You can do it by management as well. So we can select the branches. You can select the management. You can select the property rental status, and you can do the results, set the results per page. Once you've got the results, you can go in and then you can select the properties that you want to convert. Okay, so you can do a group of them, you can do one at a time. It's completely up to you how you want to do it. You can even select all at the top here. So you're selecting all 25 on that page, but you've also got the option to do all 1,291, which I probably wouldn't recommend doing that in one go. So you can select the ones that you want to convert. Okay, we'll do convert selected, but just to highlight at the top here, you've also got the tab that shows the ones that are queuing to convert, and then you've also got the ones that have failed to convert as well. Select your convert selected, and then you've got here 4 properties that we want to convert. It's going to automatically change the tenancy type to an assured periodic property. It's going to update your marketing information, but you've also got the option to unselect this and not have that change as well. Once you've selected convert properties, and then if you click finished, it's going to show whether they are queuing to go through, whether they are failed, like I just said in originally. But you've also got here, you've got your ones that you've got completed. So these are showing the ones that we've actually completed, that we've updated those properties. And then you also have the ones that possibly that you have ignored and not put through to change. Going down to the next side of it, once you've got your properties converted, you can convert your tenancies in bulk as well. So under the convert tenancies, we've got here all of your list of all of your tenancies that you've got on your database as well. Again, it's broken down in here. You've got tenancy selection, you've got requires review, queued and failed. Okay. So what you're able to do again, exactly the same thing. You can keep those filters. So you've got your property manager, you've got your branch, you've got tenancy status and the management and the results per page. And again, you've got the guide on how to use this tool. So you can see here, it shows you the stages that this tool actually works in. So go into the tenancies. This is where you can start to select the tenancies that you want to move to periodic. And what happens is when you use this, it will automatically end the current tenancy on the 30th of April, and it will create the new term from the 1st of May 2025. 2026, I'm a year behind. And then also just to highlight this as well, because we did get this question last time, was will it change my rent review date? So if you have previously done a rent review, say for example in December, it's not going to change it. It's going to keep that rent review for a year from December last year. It will only update if you haven't done the rent review as of yet. So what you can do is you're able to select the ones that you want to convert as well. Okay. And if I just go into tenancy status, if I go to show all my active ones quickly, which will be a bit easier, we can see here I've got my active managed tenancies. So I'm just going to select a few of them for you. Emma's only got 4. And I'm going to convert selected. But this is where you've also got the option at the bottom here. So we know where we saw at the top, where we've got the ignored, marked as ignored ones here for properties and marked as ignored for your tenancies. You can select and mark as ignored. So you know if they're not ones that need to be converted. So whether they're commercials or whether they're not going to be within that legislation. So you would simply select convert your selected, okay? And then in here, you've got your convert tenancies to periodic, and it's just asking, again, the same thing. Are you sure you want to convert these 4 tenancies to periodic? It's going to automatically update the tenancy type for you. It's going to update the marketing information, and it's going to adjust your rent review dates. That's only if there isn't a rent review date already in place. So if you've already done one, that will remain as it is as well. So the information sheet can be shared at a later stage, which is the next step that I'm going to go into in a minute. And it's also, again, it's updating the property records if you already haven't done it. So you would simply select convert tenancies, okay, and then click finished. You've got here requires review. So this might be what will happen in here is having some tenants in here that do require review. So I'm just going to take Emma out of here quickly. Refresh this list, but I don't think there's anything to show on here. These will be any ones that do actually require review as well, so they will list in here. So it might be tenancies that need a bit of extra manual review. There might be something you need to check on them as well before you convert them, so it's going to highlight that for you as well. You've got your one, again, you've got your queued, and then you've also got the ones that fail to convert. Hopefully that won't happen. Again, you've got your completed here. So this will show the list of the ones that you have completed. It can take a moment for this to update as well, but also the ones that you also have ignored. So that's the steps that you're doing in this converter tool. So the first step is going into the properties, into the property side of it and converting your properties. Once you've converted your properties, we would recommend then going in and converting your tenancies as well.
Can you just show where that cog is again, Mads? I think a couple of people missed it when you first went in.
This here, the cog, and up here, your RRA converter tool.
And that should be what, as of next week, so they might not see it in there just yet.
Yeah, they probably won't see it just as of yet, but it will be available to them. Obviously, that where we bring John on, he can answer any of these questions to when the dates and things, everything will be available.
Wonderful.
Okay. So if you're going in that now and you can't see it, don't panic, you will get it as well. Once you've got the properties and you've got the tenancies done, you would then have the information sheet. So converting the tenancies will then create a list for the information sheet, which I don't seem to have anything in here today, so I don't know why that's not actually working. Let me just go over to this. There was stuff in here yesterday. There we go. Just needed a bit of an update. So what you'll see in here is just the information sheet. In here, these are all the tenancies that have been converted, and this is giving you the ability now to do the information sheet. To highlight, though, you would need to create an email template in your email templates. We've provided an example here as well, which you will be able to click into, and then you can see the example that we have actually created. It also, you can copy this and then you can go directly into your email template. So this is just going to take me away from this tool quickly, and I will come back into it just to show you. It's going to take you into the system, straight into that system administration and straight into the email templates for you to be able to come and create that email template that you can use. Okay. But I'm going to go back into the tool now. If you're not aware or don't know how to create these email templates, we can offer some further assistance and some further training on how to create these email templates. But we've also got a recording of a bite-sized webinar where we did go through how you create email templates. But to go back, this will be really sort of highlight for people that missed it as well. Under the tools, and then you've got your RRA converter. Okay, and I'm going to go back into the information sheet. So just to highlight that you've got your example template, you're going to need to create an email template. This just goes to the tenants. It doesn't go to the landlords as well. If you don't need to, but if you're wanting to share it with the landlords and the guarantors, you would have to do that by a separate method. So through your email templates, creating groups within.
We're on the information sheet email template. Is that right? Is that what you've got in front of you?
Yeah, we're back here. So we're going in here. So just to highlight as well that it only needs to go to the tenants, the landlords you don't need to do it to, and the guarantors, it's not essential. But if it is something that you want to do, you're going to have to do that through a separate method of doing it. So that'll be whether you're creating a group on Alto and you're bulk emailing from that way. So to highlight now, we've got our information sheet.
Where were those templates, Mads? Because I think there's a bit of confusion that was potentially, I don't think it was frozen, but where were you just talking about? Just that highlighted link.
So the example template.
See, okay.
Yeah, and then it will take you through into your email templates in your system administration.
That's just by clicking that button at the bottom. I think it was, we weren't sure where to go.
No, that's fine. So what happens is I think it stops you from sharing one tab and then the other tab. So it's just obviously it's jumping between the different screens. So what you've got here, again, how to use the tool. So it's giving you the information on how to use this tool. And then you can just select the ones that you want to send. But to highlight this as well is you've also got here, it's going to show you which ones do have email addresses, but then it's also going to highlight the ones which don't have active email addresses. So you can select here. So we can see, for example, Tracy Boutledge doesn't actually have an email address. And you can see here, you can go and update that contact record. So that is going to directly take you back into that contact record to update their email address. Once you've selected the ones that you're sending this out to, so it's a really good tool to be able to assess and see who is actually out of your tenants and missing email addresses as well. Once you've selected the ones that you're sending through, you can select email the information sheet, okay, and then you can add your email template in there as well. You're using the email template that you create. It's going to send the email from your email address within Alto, and it's going to email all of the tenants with the information sheet document attached. We have set it so it will automatically attach that document sheet for you as well. So all you're needing to do is going in and creating your email template, and then you would just go through this list and then you would email that information sheet out as well. Obviously just double checking to make sure you've got tenants that aren't missing email addresses and everything, otherwise they won't send. Once that has been sent out, so you would just search for your email template. So if we go renters, I think there's a renters right one in here. Just take this one, renters right, and then you'll just email the information sheet. So it'd just be a simple case of sending that email and then finished. Okay, you can see then that removes it from the list as well, and then it will also show you ones that are queuing as well to go out. Okay, will also show you any send failures. So if any of them do fail to send, so even if there is an email address and maybe there's a typo error on there, for example, it's also going to show you ones that have failed to send. So it's going to give you that option to be able to go in, and you're going to be able to just update, contact the tenant just to ensure that everything is set correctly, because it is so easy to mistype an email address that you have as well. I'm just going to highlight that this will also record on the timelines as well that you have sent out the information sheet. So you'll see here, it will show on the timeline that you have actually sent that information sheet. So you've got that full audit trail as well. I mean, this is a different address, but it will have that full audit trail for you as well. So you've got a record of everything. But don't forget, you've also got, when you go into this and then you go into the RA converter tool, you'll also have it on there, on here, on your information sheet under your completed as well. You're going to be able to see that. Okay, so just to kind of recap before we start on the Q&A and we bring John on, what I did today is I've revisited the property changes. So within the property record in here, and then within the property side of it as well is the setting of the tenancy type. And within the marketing tab on here as well is the rental frequency, okay, and your price qualifier changing per week, per month, and then also your marketing side for your children's and pets. And just to remind you, there is the legal requirement has been set within the property record. And then also within the tenancy record is just to show the changes that have been made in there. So when you're looking at the tenancy, and in here, in the periodic information, you can see the contract is automatically set to a short periodic, start date, end date. Just to finish on that as well, just to show you for the rent review for the progression, nearly forgot this one. When I click rent review as well, you can see that this is what you're going to see. You're going to see the tenancy agreement name. You're going to see the rent notice served date, the proposed effective date of when it's going to start, and the first full rent date, which you can come in and change these. It's also got your rental frequency, the proposed amount, but it will also have a history here of your previous rent history. So it will show the historical rents that you have for this particular tenancy, okay? And then when you go through and you're going to the progression of it, it's obviously you're going to be able to see the bits that we showed in the system admin. Again, just to highlight is checklist is reviewing your documents. So you're going to be finding all of this information in your tools and in up here at the top on the toggle and your templates and admin. Okay, so it's going into your letters and stationery templates, just ensuring that they are all updated and they're all ready for the change in legislation. So specifically your tenancy agreements, your terms of business, the ones that are essential. Also to say that you can select them and connect them to specific events as well. And then also highlighting within the system administration side of it. So under here, under your system tools and in your group settings, you will also see these new milestone settings in here. So your rent reviews, your vacate process, your possess property progression, and then also diarising the event for the rent review as well. Setting that, like I said, it's automatically set to a 90-day default for you, but you can go in and you can update and change that. And then finally, the tool for the converter tool for the renters' rights, being able to go into this renters' rights tool and then going through updating your properties, changing your tenancies, and the most important part is getting your information sheet out to all of your tenants. And that is me done.
Amazing. Thank you, Mads. And just a shout out as well, because obviously that is a lot of information. Thank you so much for going through that for all of us. This is being recorded, so everyone can watch this back and do step by step and follow along bit by bit as you're going through. That's the whole point we record it for you. And I know there's loads of questions coming in, and just bear in mind there is over 800 of you registered for this webinar, so there's loads and loads of chat, loads of questions. We're answering them as quickly as we can, but we are actually going to compile all of the questions and answers and send them out to you after the webinar as well. So please don't worry if we haven't got to your questions yet. We've still got time, and we will be following up afterwards. But thank you so much for that demo. I am just going to share with you, before we go into the Q&A, I just want to leave you really with these 6 key takeaways, just to help your agency stay compliant ahead of the May 1st deadline, and also how Alto supports you every step of the way. So tenancy and property data conversions, there's no need to manually update your portfolio. Use Alto's bulk conversion tool to move your existing ASTs to the new assured periodic tenancy framework quickly and consistently. We've got the mandatory information sheet. So you're legally required to serve the government information sheets to all tenants. Alto automates this for you, so it's sent at the right time and tracked within your workflow. Got compliant property listings. Getting your listings right is critical to avoid fines of up to £40,000. So when you select APT, Alto automatically applies compliant defaults, including allowing pets and children, to ensure your listings meet the new requirements as well. Compliant tenancy workflows. We've simplified your tenancy setup. Fields like term length and renewal date are removed from APTs, so your records accurately reflect the new periodic model from day one. And we've got the Section 13 rent review workflow. So rent increases are now limited to once per year. Alto includes built-in reminders and 12-month tracking to help you stay compliant and avoid missed or invalid reviews as well. So just so that you've got that. Oh, and we've also got Section 8 possession workflow. So with Section 21 being removed, Section 8 becomes your primary route to possession. Alto guides you through updated notice periods, grounds and evidence requirements, helping you stay court ready. So the key thing is compliance doesn't have to be complicated, even though it feels very complicated. Log into Alto, explore the updates, make sure you've made use of all the resources we've added for you as well in the Docs tab. This isn't the standalone support for you. We've already had quite a few webinars focusing on the renters' rights, and we've got loads of resources available to you. Head to that Docs tab. You should see it just next to the chat. It says chat and then messages and docs and Q&A. You'll see under the Docs tab, we've got your renters' rights toolkit in there. Open up each resource and make sure you favourite or bookmark all of them that are in there, just so you've got them to hand. There's a link to our upcoming drop-in sessions as well. We'll be running them from the 20th of April until mid-May. They're there purely to support you. So we are going to be providing you loads and loads of sort of check-in points, really. You can drop in and ask questions and just make sure you've got that support there. So do make use of them as well. You can also sign up to our next webinar. We've literally just added that in for you because we wanted to make sure we provided all of the information. That's only 2 weeks away, so that's on the 23rd of April. And that's just where we'll cover the final renters' rights checks, ensure you're all set. Again, it's another chance to ask questions. It's just another chance to cover over everything as well. So we keep going over and over and over it, and to make sure that everyone's as confident as possible, but we are always here to answer any questions as well. And also in the toolkit, later on today, we'll actually be adding a renters' rights checklist, get my words out, into that toolkit. So if you bookmark that toolkit, then you'll see later on today, you'll get that checklist. We'll also share it out as well, but it's a really, really handy toolkit to have. And obviously that checklist will be really helpful just to make sure that you've done all the steps and that you're ready to go. So just before we move on to our Q&A, just want to shout out our partner of the month. So make sure you've got any final questions in the Q&A. Partner of the month, HomeLet. They are the UK's largest tenants referencing and specialist letting insurance company. They offer intelligent referencing. They're trusted by thousands of agents across the country. And they have a platform that improves your customer journey, products and services, and ensure you remain compliant. And they have proven income generation. On average, they earn lettings agents in excess of £300 per property per year. So if you want to find out any more about HomeLet, it's just a quick shout out for them. Type HomeLet in the chat and we can give you some more information after the webinar. Also a reminder as well to look through the integrations directly from Alto. Alto has its own little integrations tab now, so you can just see what's available, see what's there to support you, and yeah, don't miss out on anything. Now, without further ado, because I know it's the bit that we all want to get to, we will jump into Q&A, and I'm going to invite John from backstage to join us on stage here to answer some of your questions. He's our senior product manager, so he is the perfect man for the job in answering some of the questions here. Hello, John.
Hiya.
So,
lots
lots of
of questions.
questions. I know you've been busy today in the chat. Let's see what we've got. Okay, so we've got where we have older tenants that do not use email. What do we do for this? Nice simple one.
So in the information sheet section of the converter tool, if it will highlight which contacts, so which tenants on each tenancy have an email address and which don't. You'll also have the option to say that you've sent that information sheet out via email, or you've delivered it via post as well, and you'll get the same audit records recorded against the contact and within the tool as well. So if you're not sending it out via email, you can still record that you've sent it within the tool. There.
Wonderful. Okay, amazing. Thank you. We've got when. Let's have a look here. Will the Form 4A rent review be uploaded to the letters and templates?
The 4A forms and all of the other kind of notices like that, those come directly from the government. So those won't be uploaded with the letting centre pack. You'll get those from the government website.
Okay, great stuff. And next one, if a rent hasn't been reviewed in 2 years, does that mean it will be set to ready for review or start 12 months from the 1st of May?
So when we convert all of the tenancies via the tool, the rent review dates won't be based off the 1st of May. Now, this is really important to understand. So even though we'll create a new term that starts on the 1st of May, a new assured periodic term, and the rent review dates and the rent histories will all be based off the actual increases in rent on that property. So if you're using client accounting, it will be based off those charges. If you're not using client accounting, it will be based off the terms that you have in Alto. So let's say you've got a tenancy that last had a rent increase in December last year. Even when you convert that property over to on the 1st of May, the next rent review will be due December this year.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Just going to fly through some more questions, try and get as many done as possible. We've got, I thought the tenants had to acknowledge receipt of the information sheet for it to be valid.
No, so you just need to serve the information sheet and prove that you have served it. They don't need to acknowledge it. They don't need to sign it. So this is what we do in the converter tool. We will record the delivery of the information sheet, and we'll also record whether it's opened or not as well for your records. So if that email fails to send, for instance, we'll highlight that to you so you can change the email address or deliver it in person via post or whatever. We'll highlight that to you and we'll keep that record in the audit. Yeah,
okay, brilliant. If you convert now and do a rent increase prior to the 1st of May, can you amend it on Alto?
I flagged this one because this is quite important. So because of the way that the converter kind of has to work, that it's changing everything over on the 1st of May, if you have any progressions that are in progress before kind of now, basically, we won't convert those for you. So if you have a property that's vacating or you've got a renewal in progress or anything like that, you won't be able to convert those tenancies until the progressions are done. And basically we do that because effectively what a progression is it's saying that that tenancy is in flux. So we can't kind of take that information and just say that that's how it's going to be going forward from the 1st of May, because we don't know, because the progression is in progress. So what we would say is if you can complete that progression first, and either you can manually convert the tenancy over to APT, or it will then highlight in the tool to pick it up later and do that conversion later.
Amazing, thank you. We've got, where will this record the history of the service of this, and will the timeline expire as currently after some time it expires?
Yeah, so at the moment our audits for email sending, delivery, etc. expire after 6 months, and I thought this was an important one to highlight because at the very least for the information sheet sending in, we're trying to see whether we can do this across everything, but certainly for the information sheet, that history will be kept forever. So we're removing that 6-month cap for this. So you'll keep that audit forever.
That's great to know. Thank you. Will you need to ensure preferences are selected, or will it send out regardless?
So this will send out regardless. This doesn't abide by the kind of marketing preferences, the consent preferences. As the government have said, you don't need to have this written into the tenancy agreement, that they can receive communications via email for the information sheet. You are fine to send that out via email. So we will do the same.
Thank you. We've got a bit of a longer one. When we currently manually change an individual tenancy to periodic after the initial fixed term, we get a new additional recurring rent charge auto raised that we currently delete. Will a second rent charge be auto raised in addition to the recurring one that we've set when the tenancy is updated via the bulk process?
No, so the bulk process doesn't touch the charges. So well, in fact, that's not quite right. It doesn't create new charges. It will remove the end dates from any recurring charges. So those will continue until that tenancy ends. But it won't create duplicate charges. And in fact, we fixed that issue with the new periodic term as well. So when this work comes out, when you click new periodic term, it won't duplicate those charges anymore. It'll work as it should do.
Wonderful. And we've got, what is the tool doing? 1, change to periodic. 2, send the document we need to send. 3, pet and children policy. Anything else?
Yeah, so I thought I'd touch on this one in a little bit more detail, because there is a lot to go through here, and I understand why there are so many questions about this. So for properties, what we'll be doing, just to be doubly clear, for properties, when you do the conversion, we'll be updating that property to the new APT rent profile. We will reset the defaults for the rental frequency and the price qualifier to be monthly if it's greater than monthly, and to say per month rather than guide price or offers over, for instance. We'll give you the option to say whether you want to maintain your existing pet and children options. So if there are legitimate reasons why you can't accept, why the landlord can't accept pets or accept children in that property, you'll be able to say, actually, I want to keep my existing values for that if you want to. If you do decide to keep those existing values, there'll be a task associated to the property to go in and add the reason into that to specify why you've done that on each of the properties that have those marked as not allowed. And also it will obviously set that rent profile flag, as I mentioned. For tenancies, we will create a new term that starts on the 1st of May, which will be an assured periodic term. And the charges, as I mentioned, will have their end dates removed. Also, along with that, we will set a rent history. So we'll look back through for the life of that tenancy and create a record of every single time the rent has changed on that property. So you can see the dates that it happened, and you get a rent review date of the last time the rent was increased. And after that, once you have all of your assured periodic tenancies, and that's when it will be available to send out the information sheet for those tenancies. Like go, but I'm sorry if that's mine.
Yeah, I was wondering, I thought someone was doing some hoovering or something in the background. Probably just an important one here as well. When will this be on our Alto? It's not reflected on ours at the moment.
Yeah, so everything that you've seen today will be available on the 15th. So that's when you'll get your new rent reviews. That's when you'll get your access to the converter. All of the settings, however, so everything that Mads went through with the milestones and things like that, everything that's in the settings is there available for you now. So you can go in and start getting that stuff configured from today if you want to do that. Just to touch on the letting centre documents, because we've probably had around about 2,000 questions asking about when those are going to come through. We're expecting those to be available and updated in Alto the week commencing the 20th of April. So obviously there's a lot of back and forth with making sure that everything's correct and changes with the government and checking through wording and things like that. But we expect it to be week commencing the 20th that everything will be updated for you.
Amazing, thank you. And we'll just do one more, because we're literally about to run out of time. Can you provide an index of all of the letters in the pack?
Yeah, so if you go to the toolkit, so that's currently being updated at the moment with the checklist from today, so that you can go back through and you can go through this checklist yourself. And we're also going to be including the list of everything that you get with the Letting Centre. So all of the different documents that they're updating will be available for you to see on there as well.
Amazing, thank you. Right, we'll leave Q&A there, because I can see there's still questions coming in. Like I said, we will do a Q&A sheet and send that out to everyone in a follow-up email as well. So keep an eye out for that. So none of the questions will be missed, so don't panic too much. I'm just also want to call out, you've got some additional resources. There's Alto Skills, where you can find all of the e-learning that you need for every part of Alto. Explore new areas you don't know about, book webinars. It's also where you can watch previous webinars as well. So make sure you're logging into that and just exploring that as well. The webinar from today will be uploaded there. Our previous renters' rights webinars are uploaded on there. So it's a great place to have a look and just make sure you've got all the resources. You've also got the help centre as well. So that's there for, answering your quick questions, loads of articles that are on there. And if you just want a really, really quick answer, make sure you're using that as well, because that has got everything up to date. And we also have the option of bespoke training options. So if you want a one-to-one training session with one of our trainers, you can book that as well. So you can choose. It's really flexible in terms of there's different lengths of training that you can do, and you can then do it to suit exactly what you need for your team. So worth having a look at as well. So our next webinar is also available to book. I've mentioned it, it's in the docs tab there. That's only 2 weeks away, so do open up that and get booked on. That way we can just make sure we've got all of the information for you and you're not missing out on anything. And we are now just coming to the end of our webinar. And it's your chance to be entered into a prize draw to win a prize worth £264, and that is for a 2-hour tailored training session. All you have to do is fill in the survey that we're going to share with you. So I believe Mads is going to share that with you. You should just see it pop up on screen at the end of the webinar. And all you have to do is leave us feedback, and if you've left us feedback, your name will be entered into the draw. We do this quarterly, and so definitely worth giving us your honest thoughts and feelings, whether it's good or bad. We love to hear it, and it helps us scope out the next webinars as well for you. And if anyone wants to stay and do that, I'm conscious we're running a little bit over, so I don't want to keep anyone tagged, but thank you for joining us. We're going to do our prize draw for the last quarter, so if you've entered into it, hold fire. And I'm just going to share my screen.
While you're getting that up, Emma, just to sort of highlight as well, we are, like as we said before, we are starting the renters' right drop-in sessions. That Calendly link will be available in the toolkit. I've just seen the question about the Q&As as well and the FAQs. The ones from the last webinar are in that toolkit along with the recording, and the new ones from this webinar will also be uploaded in there as well. So that's where you need to access everything through the renters right toolkit that we've created for you, including the link to book on to the next to the drop-in session, sorry, for the renters' rights, and book your next webinar as well on the 23rd. So over to you, Emma, just to highlight.
Amazing, thank you. Right, so winner of our last draw, doing it live for you so you can see there's no interference. We have got a Chris Bushell. So he might not even be on this call today, but we will reach out to him directly and yeah, let him know that he's won the prize. But please do fill in that survey, access the docs before you leave. And thank you so much for joining us and for bearing with us as well through little bits of tech issues, always the way. But we really appreciated your time today. And thank you so much, John, for joining us and answering some questions as well. And I know you're going to be busy with all the Q questions and doing the Q&A form for us. So thank you very much. Thanks, everyone. Have a good rest of your day.
Have a good day.
And grab those resources before you leave.
See you on the 23rd. Bye, everybody.
everyone. Bye.
Bye.